Yo, in the building. I think I got a little bit of an audio delay here. Let me try to fix that real quick. Let me log into my broadcast. Let me see my audio input, capture device, properties. No, advanced audio properties. Actually right here. Advanced audio properties, audio, let's call it 250 milliseconds. Close and let's check that. Let me see how that sounds. Let me see here. So let me see here. 1, 2, check 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe like another 200 milliseconds. I think I'm close enough here to this. I'm right click on this audio. Actually, why don't I show you what I'm doing? Let me do a tutorial. Let me switch over. So let me add scene here. Let me add scene. Let me add existing scene, tutorial, zoom. Alright, so let me go in here and let me add this. Let me see here. I'm going to add a scene and then I'm going to add tutorial to this scene. Click OK. There we go. Okay, there. My audio's still there. If you're watching, comment section, let me know you're watching. I'm doing a tutorial today on a layout, so I'll get to the layout in a minute, but my audio's a little bit off and I'm going to show you how to fix it. You right click on your advanced audio properties right here, and then you go to audio input capture, and right here on your sync offset delay, you have to play with that to make sure that your audio is actually lined up. Mine's is about 200-300 milliseconds off, so I'm gonna do that, and that's how my audio should be fixed. I don't have my headphones because we're tearing our studio up, mainly because we were at Doctrine for the Block all weekend, and so I wasn't able to actually get everything going to get everything back online like my regular live stream setup. You see my son's in the back setting up, but I have my lights here, I got my camera, so I'm in the middle of putting the studio back together, and there you go. Let me see here. Let me copy this link and paste this here. So there we go. So actually, I'm gonna do a tutorial today on layouts, and I actually gotta find the image, which is what I'm actually want to do. There was a question in one of the Facebook groups I'm in that a person wanted to know how to duplicate someone else's layout. And so it wasn't a complicated layout, but it was a layout nonetheless that an individual would like to copy, and they wanted to just make their layout look like this other layout. I think they wanted to do it because it's a pretty clean looking layout. It's something that I think actually is pretty nice looking, and I gotta find it. Sorry I didn't find it earlier, but like I said, we were tearing the studio up, trying to get everything together as far as hold on real quick. Let me change this real quick. Trying to get all of the equipment back in the studio. So we tore the whole studio apart. When I mean the whole studio, I mean we tore everything apart. So let me show you what the layout looks like. It's a pretty standard layout. I think it's a pretty standard layout for what I think could be used for if you're a single person live streamer, if you're a person that's maybe doing a broadcast, or if you're a person that is doing like say you're doing information, sports, something like that. I think this layout would actually go pretty good. So I'm going to find it real quick. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. I'm actually going to try to go live a little bit longer, actually a little bit more frequently than I normally go live. I normally only go live a couple times a week, but actually I'm going to try to go live way more than I normally go. Actually, I do have an announcement before I put this up. I am going to be on a live stream this Thursday. I believe it's 4 to 6 o'clock. I have to look. With Dear Woke Christian, answering some questions on how to do some live stream setups, just some basic stuff to do some budget live stream setups that may help individuals with their live stream. And so if you guys are not a subscriber, please follow Dear Woke Christian. And there's a couple other guys that you can follow. Bottom Line Dad. Man, the name slipped me so far. Richard Contra. How do you say your last name? Richard Contra Mundum. Follow his page. Berean, I think it's Berean Babes. Is that what it is? I think that's what it's called. There's a bunch of really good broadcasts you can follow. You know, I'm a Christian, so that's exactly who I interact with. Another channel I watch personally for live streaming, I watch Alpha Gaming a lot. So there's a bunch of channels out there on YouTube. Don't just watch one channel at a time. Try to watch as many as you can so that you can learn as much as you can with whatever you're trying to accomplish. So I'm going to be on that broadcast. I'm trying to pull up the event. Sorry for the disorganization. Like I said, we are putting our entire studio back together, and it is imperative that we put all of the camera equipment that we're using back, all of that stuff back. So that's why and actually, let me know what you think of my quality right now. I'm actually not using my normal camera. I usually use my Lumix and my G7. Those are the cameras I use. It's either going to be my G7 or my GH4. I'm actually using a Canon RF70 camera. This camera is probably, wow, I want to say 6-7 years old, maybe maybe more than that. I would say it's even older than that. Canon HFR80. When it was brand new, it was like $600-700. And now it's no longer in stock. Let me see. And then they had a bunch of different versions that you could have. You can have the one with the better zoom, and then you can have one that had, multiple SD card inputs. But I just have the basic one. You can get a couple of these on Canon on OfferUp for maybe like $200 right now. So I believe that you probably can benefit from that. Maybe definitely trying to see if that's an option for live streaming. I always say use what you have before you need some more. So this is the camera quality. It's got 1080 out. I'm going into the $25 capture card that I worked on, that I talked about last week. I'm using my audio device, which is just my USB audio device. So I think this quality works for if you're just starting out. I can show you. Let me see here. Let me move this over here. This is the actual camera I have right here. It's a Canon. If you look on OfferUp, it's an older video camera. It's got zoom. It does have some settings you can play with, but not much. So let's say RF 80, something like that. 80. Let me see here. Canon something. Why don't I know what this Canon is called? Here's one. This is a month ago. So this is a HFR21. This camera's $80. So I mean, you can, let me put the HFR80 in there and see what these go for. Canon. Am I putting the right name on here? Hold on a second. Let me look on the side of my camera. I am fairly certain. So they don't have any of those. Let's look at the one below it, which is what? No R72s either, huh? Let me see here. Let's put Canon Vixia and see what we got for Vixia. I cannot spell. So here's a Canon Vixia. So here's a HFR200. Here's a HFM. Here's R70. This is close to the camera I have right here. So there's two models up from this. This camera was going for $200. I mean, I think you can use these cameras to actually get some live streaming done. And hey, get done what you need to get done so that you can. Mr. Contra, how you doing? Yeah, this is a cheap camera, Richard. A very cheap camera. This is a $200 camera that anybody can buy right now. This is not my normal streaming camera. So I'm just doing a layout tutorial right now. And I got to find the picture. Oh, and I did want to, let me put this up on the screen. This is the show I'm going to be on. Let's do this. Let's put this up right here. Let's move this over here. Transition. Yeah. So here's the show I'm going to be on, and let me drop my camera off of here for a second and move my camera down. Well, you can see it. Let's talk about live streams with Dear Woke Christian. I think it's going to be a good show. We'll probably go a couple hours and talk about some different topics as far as how to live stream. And so if you're in the area, visit Dear Woke Christian's channel, and I'll pretty much answer any questions you have about live streaming. So please feel free to log on and ask some questions. So back to this layout. So there's a couple layouts here, and I'm going to pick one that I think is probably easiest to do to give you an idea of how to live stream and set your live stream up. One thing I would admonish you to do is that if you're going to copy, or let's not even say copy, if you're going to duplicate someone else's look on live stream, I think it's best that you find a look that works for you, and then find a look that's actually benefits what you're trying to accomplish on your live stream. I generally just do tutorials, so I generally have a camera angle here, maybe right-hand corner. If you're going to do interviews, obviously it would be great to have a camera angle side by side. That would actually be pretty cool. So it just depends on what you're trying to get accomplished in your live streams. So if you're doing something like a talk show, I don't know if you necessarily need an ESPN style layout, mainly because I think that takes away from your broadcast. I know a lot of people do like presentations, PowerPoints, images, pictures, something really easy to set up. I know StreamYard has a very good, easy setup where the camera's always in the left-hand corner and then the information is on the right. If you're presenting videos and stuff like that, I think that those are pretty simple layouts to do, but I definitely would not recommend an individual setting up a layout that does not model what they're trying to accomplish in their live stream. And so when you find a layout that works for you, if you want to copy somebody's layout or have something similar that looks to a layout that you're trying to duplicate, it's fine. But once again, do something that models what you are good at and for your live stream, and don't use something that does not represent who you are. If you don't do a lot of interviews, you probably don't need a split screen. right away, mainly because you're not interviewing anybody. If you don't have a layout for, if you do more than one guest, you definitely do need to have a layout that will allow you 3 or 4 or 5 guests, and you don't want to have a layout that does not allow you to just communicate your message, right? So I'm going to show you a picture of the layout real quick here. Let me go to my layout. Sorry, it took me some while to find it, but it's just, you know, I had to find the picture. And so let me go here. Okay, so let me turn on this screen and the video. And let's do this. Hold on a second. Let me do this. Control F. I didn't have this set up mainly because I was not able to find the original image. I was actually only able to find a copy of the image. So give me a second here, y'all. Let me see. Transform, reset, transform. And we'll go here. And I think I'll take my capture card. Why is this doing this? Hold on. What's my daughter doing? There we go. Right here. No, she's not putting on another episode. I got my kids here today too, y'all. So that's another thing that I got going on. I got a whole lot going on here today in the office. So let's duplicate this layout right here. So let me go to team. And let me go to this screen. Display capture. And give me a second here. Full screen. All right, and I will turn this on real quick. So this is the layout that's trying to be duplicated here. It is basic left camera. There's a logo on the top, and then there's the comments on the right-hand section, and there's the background. There is a Cash App or a place to donate money, and then a QR code and a like a saying or something like a breakthrough. So that's kind of what we're going to try to duplicate today. I think you can set this up on just about any platform. You definitely want to get into setting scenes and sources so that you're able to switch very quickly between this and have this kind of set up. So I'm going to actually start by putting my camera back where it was, and I'll leave that scene up real quick. I'm actually going to do it live. So what about green screens? I'm looking at some questions now too. We'll cover green screens on Thursday if you want, Jason. Dear Christian, excuse me, is in the chat. Frank, always great knowledge for streaming. Frank's my guy, y'all. Anybody in Phoenix need a cameraman or a video editor? Frank is that guy. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to turn off studio mode in OBS because everything I'm going to do is actually going to be live. So I'm going to set this up the way that the picture was on the screen. And I'll leave the picture up on my screen, but you won't be able to see it. And let me move this over here so I can actually look at the picture and show you. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to minimize the camera because the camera has to be, oh, no. Let me not do that. Let me create a new scene first. So let me go new scene. Hold on. Give me a second, y'all. Hold on. I'm going to do something actually that I need to do. So let me go new scene. The screen's going to go blank for a second and the audio's going to cut off, but you'll be okay. And I'm going to name it tutorial demo. Okay, so I'm back here. Let me squeeze in a little bit of audio. Click close and let me add my video capture device. So I'm adding my video capture device. I'm going to add the existing and capture device, and I'm back that quick. So I'm going to squeeze the camera here off to the left because that's what the image looks like. Camera right here. That's about where it's at. Next, you got to get a background. So I'm going to add an image, and I'm just going to pick an image off my desktop if I have one to add an image for the background. Let me look on my desktop real quick to see if I have one. And I'm going to show you how to lay out just like somebody else's scene. Let me pick here. Let me see if I have some images on the desktop. I'm going to pick this image because I just want to. Click OK. I'm going to click OK. Now I'm going to drop that image below. And I'm assuming you have a basic understanding of this real quick. I'm going to drop that image below there. Now, I don't really like that color image, so I'm going to right click on image and I'm going to go to filter and I'm going to click on color correction and I'm going to get rid of the saturation in the image. So I'm going to turn off all the color and I'm actually going to lighten it just a little bit so it's not as harsh. And you'll see right there that it's going to change to black and white. And there you go right there. So that's almost close to what we are starting out with. I'm going to drop a color source. I'm going to hit plus, which is just a square. It's white. I'm going to hit white color source. I'm going to click OK. I'm just going to pick a color. It's going to be on top of my image. I'm going to drop it below my USB device. And I'm going to make it a border. Now, there's a bunch of plugins you can use to make a border, but if you just want a simple border, don't hog up your CPU with borders and all that other kinds of stuff. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to hold down Alt to crop this in over here. So there's my border, and I'm going to make it kind of line up right there. So that's the first part of this layout thing right here. Do I recommend Cash App or Venmo? I recommend, so let me give you some tax advice. If you're using Venmo and you collect over a certain amount, Cash App, there's a certain way you have to report it, which gets kind of dicey. I would probably just recommend using Venmo. It's easier filing taxes, stuff like that. With Venmo, people have to sign up for an account, but the good thing about Venmo is that you don't have to pay a fee to send money through Venmo. You do get a fee taken out by Cash App. In case you didn't know, Cash App is owned by Square. Venmo is owned by PayPal. That's why you can't send money between them. They're like mortal enemies like Crips and Bloods. So there you go. So here we go. So back to this border. There's the border right there. All right. So I'm going to do the same thing with the white border. I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to add a filter plus color correction. Let's go color correction. I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to reduce the opacity because I want it to be like a soft gray. Close. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a display capture so you can actually see what I'm doing on top of my actual screen. And I'm moving the screen over to the left or the right. Man, you should have 3 camera angles. Why would I need 3 camera angles? I'm going to show you my screen right now. So I'm going to right click on here. I'm going to add display capture. I'm going to click OBS. And then I'm going to actually add this screen. And I'm going to drop it down to the bottom. Give me a second here. Let me not do that. Oh, you know what? I didn't turn on. There's a feature in settings, right? And the feature here is, sorry for the tunnel vision. Yeah, Crips and Bloods, Frank. There's a feature where you can turn on, don't have the repeat window in 27.2, and it says hide OBS. You click on settings, you go hide OBS window capture from screen, and that's what you essentially can do to get rid of that tunnel vision. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to actually finish setting up the scene before I turn on the OBS because if I do that, you're going to get tunnel vision no matter what. So back to what I'm doing. I'm going to skip the OBS window capture. I'm sorry, y'all. This is just how I live stream. This is how I edit. This is how I do. It drives my family nuts, but this is how it happens. So on the right side of the screen, I'm going to add another color source. This one's going to be black, and this is going to be for the comment section. And there's already an existing box here. So I'm going to add black, and I'm going to drop it on the right side of the screen. I'm going to hit Alt, and right there, this is where my comment section is going to go. Once again, I'm going to right-click on the black. I'm going to add a color. I'm going to add a filter. So I'm going to add a color correction filter. Color correction filter in OBS is your friend. That's where you do all your opacity and your brightness and your contrast, and it helps with your color scheme and at least a color scheme on your camera. So there. Close. There we go. So I have my black there. And Frank, do you do tutorial? Are you guys having a conversation in my live chat with each other? I mean, get each other's phone number. How you just gonna hog up my chat with my conversation with my friends? These Franks is one of my friends. Okay, don't bother my friends. Okay, sorry. Anyways, I don't like that it's not as black as I want it to be. I want it to be blackety black or blacker. More melanin in there. So I'm going to make that darker. Cool. So on the layout, what else do we have on the layout? We have title at the top. Now here says Supernatural Breakthrough. I'm not going to type that for obvious reasons. I'm just going to add a text filter. I'm going to hit plus. I'm going to add text, and I'm going to add title. So here I'm going to put, since you're in the comment section causing all kinds of problems, I'm going to put Dear Woke Harasser. I'm making up a new term. There we go. Haha, I'm going to make this funny. And I'm not using Google to pull this off. This is going to be called the Dear Woke Harasser title bar at the top. That's what I'm doing. Haha, yeah, there we go. So I'm going to put this at the top. Now, the cool thing about OBS, and I'm sure with other programs, right, you can use the fonts on your system. So if you have some pretty cool fonts, if you go to dafont.com and download some cool fonts, you can pretty much use any font you want. You don't have to just be stuck with your basic, run-of-the-mill fonts. You can actually find some cool fonts. There's a font here I use pretty much all the time that I think is pretty cool. It's a nice little thick font like that, and bam, that's my title. And I want to be sure not to move the background. Google would be insane. We can use that. I'm going to change it just because Jason's my friend. I'm going to go up here and change it to the Google Broadcast. Google Broadcast. There we go. So let's do that way that everybody's feelings don't be hurt. And there we go. The Google Broadcast. Bam. There you go. So I'm going to rearrange this, that right there. I'm going to click on the camera. Oh, Control F. I'm going to click on my USB capture. Move that up. So I'm halfway there with the setup. I don't want to do too much more with the top. I noticed on the other setup, they did have a Cash App, Venmo, or whatever. So let's just say you have a website and you have a, let's say you have your socials. Let's put that at the bottom. I like that better than Cash App because I don't think everybody, I think most people are trying to, use Google AdSense and stuff like that. So I'm going to add some icons real quick. And these are just images. So I'm going to add, now you can go to Google, right? And you can Google social media icons that are already, transparent. I mean, the more you can compose in your live stream and put together, I think you should do that because it's less setup. If you can find a PNG that already has all of the social media icons in one, and even if they're not white, whatever color that you can find them. I have one here. Let me see if I can do this. Let me save image as and see if this is actually really PNG. And I'm going to add the images here. You got to be careful when you add images that are not, quite PNGs. I'm going to put social media icons. I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to click on my downloads here and see if these icons are transparent. It doesn't look like they're transparent. Yeah, they're not. So they're not transparent. So we're not going to use that one. Sorry about that. But there is one here that I know is transparent, and it's this one. Save image as, and we'll just replace that image that we replaced it at. Yep, replace it. And then I'll come back here and add social media icons and go back to that image. And then we'll go with, let me see here. Somebody's calling me. They clearly don't respect my live stream game. Check outside. Make sure somebody's not here at the studio because I got visitors here in town and they're not for me, but there we go. So that is my social media icons. Now, it's white. Is there a way to, make that more visible? Absolutely. Let's make this at the bottom. So I'm going to put this right here, social media icons, as you can tell. And I'm going to add another capture box. Huh? Go have a seat, baby. Add social media capture. Let me add color source. I'm gonna add a existing one, which is already there. I'm gonna bring this to the bottom. And keep in mind, everybody, this doesn't have to be, as long as it looks good to you, and I'm just gonna say it right there. As long as it looks good to you, let it ride. You know, a lot of people may, disagree with how your stream looks. It's your stream. As long as it looks clean and professional, I recommend you do it the way you want to do it, right? So I'm just adding this right here. Those are my socials, right? And hold on a second. I'm going to crop this in like that. Yeah, there we go. There's my socials. I'm going to pull this out a little bit. All right, so there we go. And I'm going to rearrange this and bring this down. Bam. Those are my socials right there. And now I can add a text. Add text. And put socials. Here's a thing I've always learned. All of your socials should be identical. Like, don't have like a font or don't have one social for one thing and then another social for another thing. I would definitely try to have all your socials, so you only have to type one thing, one handle. You definitely don't want to have unless your name is so common that you can't do that, then I understand that. But definitely want to have one handle. It just works out better. As you can tell here, I can just type one handle and that's a wrap. Now, I don't know why a person would use a QR code if most of the people are going to be watching on your phone anyway. That's something I would not do. And right now, what I can do is grab my socials, my social media icon, my white box, and I can group those in OBS so that I can move them all together. Group selected items, and now if I need to move them, I can do that. And actually, if I need to resize them, I can do that. So there we go. So there's my resizing. There we go. So that's kind of my layout so far. And we need to bring up the comments. What I can do is actually bring up my own comments. There's a wonderful plugin. If it's installed on this one, is this one installed on here? Let me see here. Let's pop out the chat. Pop out the chat like that. I'm going to pop out the chat. Now, if you have Restream, this is significantly easier if you have Restream. If you have Restream, then you can turn on, if you have Restream, StreamYard, you can actually do this a lot easier than what I do. I use social media stream. So let me turn on, let me see the original. Okay, hold on. Let me get to it first. There's a couple of design items here that are different than what I'm doing. So let's copy this. I'm going to add a browser source to add the comment section. Add browser source. This is different in social media, in OBS, and a plugin called Social Ninja. It's a little different than it is with Restream, and it's also a little different in the plugin for StreamYard. But the way I'm doing it doesn't cost you any money. So you got to figure out, exactly how you want to do your live stream. So this is going to plug up here. This is going to be my stream. I am actually going to shape this over here, put this here. And actually, you know what? I don't even want to use this. Oh, yeah, I'll use this one. I'm going to put a filter on here. Filters are king, bro. Like, that's just how it goes. Let me do this real quick. And mind you, I'm doing this on the fly. So, yeah, it seems a little fluttered, but there's a reason it seems a little fluttered, because I'm doing it the freeway. So that's why it seems a little fluttered. And let's put this back on top. Let me see here. Let's see the original. I got you, Jason. I got you. Man, he's so pushy. He is super pushy. Browser source. There we go. Let's change that from the YouTube one. Let's change that to the actual Social Media Ninja one. And let's do 600 by 1200. Click OK. We'll do that instead. There we go. Here we go. And then those are my icons. Austin Williams, what browser are you using? Okay, hold on. Let me, so I got my son chiming in. He wants to know what browser I'm using. I'm using a combination of 2 browsers. I am using, hold on a second. Let me change something real quick so that I can get certain things. I want to hide source icon. I want to do light mode, compact mode. I definitely want to do compact mode. I don't want Discord chat, create mission, remove background shattering. That's the one I want to use. I don't want to do center overlay. And there we go. Now I'm going to copy that one. Copy. That's better. I'm using a combination of Chrome and I'm using a combination of Brave. So those are the 2 chats that I'm using. And the reason I'm using those chats is because I like Brave for security reasons, and Chrome is sometimes the devil when it comes to audio. And that's not too much you can do about that, but hey, it is what it is. So that should be better. Let me look, I got 2 more questions here. Let me see here. What browser are you using? Looks good to be doing off the dome. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Let me pop out chat real quick. Let me do this real quick. Here. Now, mind you, you can set this up, and you should be able to set this up in any broadcast. You don't have to set this up in OBS. I think you can set the same thing up in StreamYard. You can also set the same thing up in Restream. Restream's a little easier, but like I said, I'm geared towards the budget streamer, so I'm always trying to save people a little bit of money, which is, you know, where I'm at as far as what I'm doing. And so if you're into spending money, go ahead and spend money. But I'm telling you, you don't have to spend money. So that's just if you want to spend money, that's up to you. So here, let me go here and go to Brave. StreamYard. Let's get it. There we go. So let's use that one. Send some comments. So the comments gonna populate. Well, let me send my own comments here. Here you go. There we go. Now it's popping up. Somebody say something. I'm going to say another comment. Comments popping up. Popping up. There we go. So the comments roll in right there. Austin Williams, say something. Yeah, he just put a dot or something like that. So those are my comments right there. I don't have a big following, so obviously I'm not going to have a lot of comments coming in. But I'm going to have enough to where I can, you know, put the comments up here on the right side. And I can do another thing here. Let me move this up. This is with Social Stream. Testing. Thank you, son. Yes. Let me do something else right here. There is an opportunity. You should be able to do a StreamYard too. Yeah, you should be able to. What I'm setting up here is basically a scene. So you want to set up scenes so you can switch back and forth from one scene to a next. Like if I go to this scene, this is just my regular camera scene, right? So this is just me head on, you know, head on with my little $200 cheap camera. And then when I go to my demo, I go here, right here. So this is just, you want to set up scenes. If you're on Ecamm, set up scenes. Do not put a window with 35,000 different sources in there and items. And then this way I can switch back and forth. Now, normally in OBS, I have a split screen. I have as far as I have my preview on one side, my program on the other side. But even if I do it like this, I mean, it's easier for me to set up, you know, scenes right here like this, right? And obviously you wouldn't see me move these if I was, you know, really doing this the proper way. Now one thing I could do is on my social, just like you could do on StreamYard or whatever program you have, I have my comments set to end here. So I'm going to take this black part and move it up here. I could add another box. I'm going to add another box here, add color source. I'm going to add a new one and make it red. And I'm going to pick the red color, not necessarily for any other purpose than just to demonstrate what I'm doing. What happened to the camera border? I moved it. I moved the camera border down because I wanted to do something else, right? And I'm going to show you what I want to do. Because you want it to be clean as you can possibly get it. I could put this here, and could is so ghetto. I can do center overlay, hide source after it don't show source icon, and I'm gonna do single message overlay, and I'm gonna copy that. Now this is Social Stream, so this is another plugin. Like I said, now Social Stream works with any browser and any streaming platform. So if you're on a budget and you can't afford Restream or StreamYard yet, there's a way you can do it this way where you can still show your comments and show it to a way where everybody still gets to see everything that you're doing. So I'm going to pull this over right here. I'm going to make this bigger. This is all about sizing. That's all it is. And there we go. And then I'm going to go to my social, and I'm going to make this just a little bigger. And I have the comments limited to this box. So if you keep going on right here, you'll still see it. I'm going to add another browser source, and I'm going to call it featured comment. And it's going to place a featured comment, and I don't need it to be that high. I need it to be like maybe 350. And I'm going to place that featured comment on top of this comment right here. So if I click on a comment right here, there, my featured comment comes up right here in the bottom right-hand corner. And I don't need it to be that high. As far as the size, let me pull the size down to maybe like 275. All this is OBS stuff, but the principles work the same with every program. It's all about scaling and knowing where stuff can go. Obviously, if I wanted to, pick another one, we're going to put you on Oprah soon. What happened to the camera border? I can, looks good to be doing it off the dome. So I'm simply just clicking on comments and adding them to my broadcast. And if some more comments were coming up here on my overlay, or on my comment section here in YouTube, I'm going to put test comment right here. Let me see here, test comment. It's still going to come up. The comment comes up right there. And so with this layout, is it like everybody else's layout? No, it's not everybody else's layout. It's your layout. Let's say, I want this to go over here. Let's say I want my, let's say I want my comments here, that here. And instead of right here, I want my featured comments across the bottom. Right? Let me do this. Oh, Alt. So let me say I want my featured comments across the bottom. Let's say that's what I want. Whoops. Sorry about that. I'm going to go on the red. Put these right here. It doesn't have to be red. It can be whatever color you want it to be. But it's your broadcast. Nobody can tell you how not to do your own broadcast. Have the confidence to do your own broadcast. In my featured, I can make my featured comment, 1920. Same width or same height. Put it here at the bottom. And as I pull my comments up here at the bottom, what happened to the camera border? Let's click on that comment. And I'll go here to testing. Comes up. I can put it anywhere I want. It doesn't have to be, obviously these are shorter comments. I can move that over, my featured comment over wherever I want it to be. Beautiful thing about that is the OBS. So this is your setup. This is your live stream. Sorry about that. Let me move that over some more. Did real question. There we go. So this is, set this up however you want. But the point is that, and I'm going to go back a couple. I have undo here in OBS. It's such a beautiful thing to use. I don't know how many OBS undos you have, but you have enough to get this done. Right there. Let's take the featured comment, make it smaller just so it'll fit. Right. We'll do that. We'll make this probably 900. Let me make it 1,000 just so I can have a little bit more space. And there we go. So these are the same comments that were there, but they all come up. Now I got freedom over here in the bottom left to add something else. I don't know. You can add a ticker or a social media, or put this back, leave that there. Sorry. Take your social group and put it back over here. Like, this is your stream. Make your stream look how you want it to look. If you want to copy somebody else's stream, copy somebody else's stream. And just make it yours. That's my point. So that's kind of the tutorial. I mean, I'll put the other picture up on the back of the screen. Obviously, the live is going to be a little bit different for the way that he has his screen set up. And I have let me move this down here like that. Let's do it right there. Let's put that like there. So the way comments still come up. Let's go here. Let's add display capture and put it up here on the top. So this is his, whoever this is. I don't know who this guy is. Mike. Oh, this is Mike Signorelli. Oh, yeah, I shouldn't have copied this one, but hey, I did. It's all right. So this is Mike Signorelli's, and this is mine. You know, this is my own thing. You know, I don't know what else you would want to do, but I mean, here you go. You know, if you think your camera is too far out, you can crop this in a little bit, you know, make this bigger. Heck, if you're going to put some more, you know, hold down Alt and crop that, right? My bad. If you're going to put some more, if you want a square camera, do that. I mean, it's your broadcast. Put that right there. This is your broadcast, you know, make it look the way you want it to look. But for me, this is the look right now. This is his look. And this is my look. And obviously, you know, if I click on, let me see here. If I click on my comment section, let me see here. If I click on my comments, they come up right there. That's where I want them to come up. I can highlight them whatever I want. So that's kind of, that's kind of my lesson for today. Make sure that when you're doing streaming, that you're streaming your content the way you want. Make sure it looks good. Like I said, I did the whole live stream today with one light, with my microphone and like a $200 cheap camera. So does it look like my G7? No, it doesn't. But I mean, 75% of your people are watching on the phone anyway. So if you're on the phone, I think you'll get a lot out of maximizing the quality of content, maximizing the quality content that you have for where you're at. Don't go out and spend a lot of money right off the bat. Perfect what you have, and as you grow in your live streaming, then you'll be able to really, really get to the point to where people will appreciate what you do and how you do it. So this is me. Until tomorrow, I'll be back tomorrow with another tutorial. No, Austin, this is not the G7. This is the Roland Canon we've had for about, gee whiz, 10 years now. This is a 10-year-old camera, y'all. No, this is not the G7. This is a decent camera. I just want y'all to know, and I'm not rubbing it in. I'm on a $200 camera and a $23 video card. That's what I'm on. That's it. This is my whole, and I got a computer here. You see it looks a little discombobulated, like I said, because if you look behind me, we're trying to organize the rest of the studio. If I turn all the lights on back there, I don't even know if the lights are on. Yeah, the lights aren't even plugged up. Yeah, but this is not the G7. This is the Canon RF80, with the RF72. It's a cheap camera. But with lighting, if anybody watching, lighting makes a difference. I got one light here, a newer 60-watt R30. I'm going into my audio box for audio with my Audio Technica mic. So this is what I'm dealing with. And it's what I'm trying to help you deal with. So, yeah, if you got any questions, I think all the questions are no longer moving or populating. But get it done. Get done what you need to get done. And I will see you tomorrow. God bless.